Hey gang, what's going on? Jeremy back again, and today what we're going to be covering is what has transpired through this whole global crisis and what that means for you as an online coach and really how to take advantage of it. So let me just pop over to my phone screen right here. Someone's vacuuming out front here, so hopefully that's not too distracting or anything like that. Okay, so let's just hop right in and talk about what we've seen, where we're at, and where we're headed right now so that you can make the best decisions for your online business and for just you and for your family and all those amazing things and reasons why you're doing this whole online business stuff, right? So let's say that the pandemic kind of happened right here. What we saw, and you heard me talk a lot about this, was we saw a crash. And we saw a lot of people act really weird. We saw a lot of online entrepreneurs recluse. We saw a lot of people really not what to do. They didn't understand what message to have, how to adapt, and what to do to continue serving people and quote unquote take advantage of the situation and to find the opportunity. And so we had this big crash right here, and it really, really caused a lot of people to do and to act kind of weird. And so if this was maybe, let's call this March through June. What I want to share with you is what we're seeing now so that you can now make the best decisions for how to spend your time and for how to take advantage of maybe some of the resources that you have available to you during this pandemic. So if this was March to June, my prediction is that we're kind of headed towards an upwards trend. And so we need to do things in a different order. And my prediction is that the things you do right now are drastically today going to impact where you're at in the next 12 to 36 months. And so if this is the crash, what I think this right here is the bounce. And so what this means is that we need to kind of adapt ever so slightly, take what we learned from March to June and implement that on top of getting back to some of the regularly scheduled promotions and things that you might have already in your online business, okay? So if this is the crash and this is the bounce, it's my prediction that the decisions that you make right here in the bounce are gonna largely set you up for success over the next 12 to 36 months. And what I want for you to be is on an upwards trajectory. And as the online coaching and online course industry grows, that just because you're a part of it, you're going to see some of that exponential growth and be able to take a slice of that pie so that you can continue helping more and more people and serving the clients that you may already be working with. So what my prediction again is what we're doing right here in this bounce as we kind of get back to some regular stuff, as people have gotten used to this kind of new stage that we're at as a society, that things are going to start getting a little bit more back to normal. And so what this means is that we need to do the right things in the right order. Now, I know that many of you aren't necessarily exactly where you want to be in your online business. And truthfully, I struggled with that exact same problem from probably about 2014 till maybe just a little over a year ago. And at that point, I was able to take all of my experience and to start creating a group coaching program and then turn that into a live workshop. And what I have found between 2014 and now is that there are 7 kind of check boxes that we'll just talk you and me for right now. And let's get the profit and freedom thing up there. It's a little big, but we'll keep it there for now. What I've learned is there's almost like 7 check boxes or projects that by installing and making sure you have the right processes and things in your online business, you actually will position yourself to have a business and a lifestyle that's capable of generating 6 figures a year. And so I thought I'd go ahead and share those 7. Now we're on the right screen. Let's just pull this over, adjust my, my setup here. Okay, cool. So let's talk about what these 7 projects are and what to do so that you can start implementing these right after this video. Or maybe you're going to see one of these shortcuts and say, I need to go and do that right now. That would honestly, in my eyes, be a huge win for you and for your online business. So let's talk about what these 7 shortcuts are and how to start taking advantage of them so that you can have a business and a lifestyle capable of bringing in 6 figures every single year. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to understand and we need some structure, which means we need a business model. And this unlocks two very important things as you get this nailed and kind of drilled down. The first thing when you find the right model for your business is that you're going to get a results system. And that's because you've done the work ahead of time to understand what is most going to help your clients, and you've put together a little bit of a flow so that it helps you communicate it and to share that with the right people. The other thing that you unlock when you have found the right model is that you are going to set yourself up to create lifelong client relationships. I'm going to put an LL just for lifelong. And the reason is because you create a kind of a flow of a curriculum and a journey for your audience and for your clients to go through. When you do that, and when you're getting them huge results the moment they sign up with you, they're never gonna want to go anywhere else. And you, versus being a discretionary expense, most online coaches are, you become an indispensable part of their online business. So let's keep on going. So the first shortcut is you need to have the right business model. If you don't know what your model is, just send me a DM or maybe comment below this video, and let's work out what the perfect model is for your business. And I'd love to share maybe the personal freedom mentoring model for the paid side of things, or I can show you some of the different models that we use. You're actually seeing me draw one out here right now, so it's not the most complicated or complex thing in the world. After we have our business model, the next thing we need to make sure, and the next thing that we need to do is we need to create a product without creating a full-time job. And so what that means is the first thing that we need to do is we need to put together an outline for our product so that we can validate. And what this means is that you are able to, with just an idea, go and approach potential prospects and get them to sign up. And you don't do this in a way that makes them think that you already have a product. You actually do this in a way that paints where you're at in your online business as a huge benefit and win for them. And so we have some strategies and some different pieces that we put in place in order to make that happen. But all you need to know is that you're not going to make a course when you're just getting started. You're not going to go and create a full coaching program from the ground up. You're going to outline your idea in your business model and turn that into your offer and go and approach people with it. And what this is going to help you to do, this is super important, so just you and me right now, this is going to help you to go and generate revenue before you go and do any of the creation of the work. And what this will tell you is, do people actually want your thing and your stuff? And as they pay for it and start going through it, you're going to get data back from paying customers and clients to help you adjust the marketing message, the mechanics, and the different deliverables inside of your product so that you can make it better and better every single time a new client starts up. All right, got it? Cool. Let's get back to it. So when you have your offer outlined because of your business model and you're out there validating it, the second thing that you're going to unlock with this module is you're going to find who the right person or avatar is for you and for your online business. And so what I don't want you to do as you're just getting started when you're underneath your first 10 clients is to really double down and say, this is the niche that I work with. I want for you to create an offer that's specific, and I want you to offer it to every person that you know. You're going to understand and you're going to see in the group of people that you know who might be a fit for it and who not. And you can take those educated guesses. But what I don't want for you to do is go and make an offer what I don't want you to do is not make an offer and assume an answer for the other person. That's a massive disservice to everybody that you know. It's a massive disservice to you and to your product and to your clients' results. So we need to have the right model. We need to have the right product idea so that we can go and validate it and we can figure out who the person is that we're best suited to help and to go and get results. Now let's talk about shortcut number 3. The next shortcut is all about a central piece of the personal freedom mentoring system, which is the appointment system. We need a way to get appointments. And so what we want to do is, first thing is that we need to go and get them. That is a calendar. And so we need to understand how to get them. Getting. And then once we understand how to get them and keep our calendar full of appointments, the next thing that we need to do is automate them. so that every single day you wake up to calendar appointments, to messages from the Facebook bot, from Facebook Messenger, from your Instagram, LinkedIn, your email inbox, of people who are responding back to you and already booking in and really looking forward to your help and getting on the phone with you. So that is shortcut number 3. You'd be surprised how many course creators and coaches don't have a solid system in place. In fact, last week over in Personal Freedom Mentoring, we talked specifically in depth about the automatic appointment system and what to do to make it just a little bit spicier or sexier so that you stand out from the crowd and really make something that's unique. So it was really, really exciting going through that with students last week. Okay, now let's talk about shortcut number 4. Shortcut number 4 is all about a very specific page or your website. A lot of people get in the program and they say, hey, I don't have a website, so I can't get started in my online business. Dude, you're at such a big advantage. And so when we get to the point of actually showing you what kind of website that you need, there's a very specific kind that we're going to help you set up and that I recommend. And so you, of course, want a website. And because what that's going to do is it's going to get you some authority. And you start to be seen as the expert, and it's going to position you as the right place in the market. The second thing that you unlock when you're making your page, and a huge component to making this work, is called a lead magnet. In fact, if you follow how I teach, you're going to make your magnet pretty far after or before your web page, and you're already going to be using that to make conversations. This just makes an easy place for people to come and get it, and to also see that you are the subject matter expert and the person who is best suited to help them. That's shortcut number 4. Let's talk about shortcut number 5. Shortcut number 5 is super important, and it's all about selling, but it's specifically not selling. I don't know why I'm alternating between capitals and non-caps. The next module, shortcut number 5, is all about not selling. And if you've been following me for any length of time, then you constantly hear me talking about converting and, of course, enrolling people in and sales and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is that most people are super awkward with their sales, and they don't know what they're doing. And when it gets to the point of the transaction and kind of popping that big question, they don't know what to do or say, and so it gets super awkward. And so my solution for the everyday person, myself included, is to not sell. And what I would prefer is that you have a bunch of perfect and ideal prospects who are selling you on why you should work with them. And that's what this shortcut is all about. So when you install the anti-selling project and you cross that box, the first thing that you're going to kind of notice is that what you're doing more of than anything is you are auditioning, and clients are coming to you and kind of doing a little dance for you, almost like American Idol. This is more Simon Cowell, less Jordan Bradford from The Wolf on Wall Street. We don't want to do that stuff. We're going to be Simon Cowell, calm and collected, sitting back, judging, and testing them out and seeing if they're fit for our help and for our system. So that's the first thing that you're going to unlock, okay? And so this is all about auditioning. Okay? The next thing that you really unlock here is the long game. Starting an online business is a long game, and a lot of people don't realize that until they see how much kind of commitment is needed. But they also may be bombarded and overwhelmed because most people they're learning from don't keep it simple, or they're learning from podcasts and courses and YouTube videos and all these other places, and they don't have one specific framework or mentor or coach helping them guide through it. So they end up having kind of like a Frankenstein business. Business is a long game. And when you have an appointment system that helps capture people who are ready right now, and then has a way of warming up people to get them ready over the next maybe 30 to 90 days, and continues to bring value to them so that when the time becomes now for them to sign up, they don't think of anybody else besides you, okay? So that is the anti-selling project. Now let's talk about project number 6, and I'm just gonna move this back now that we're kind of in a better position to see these And if you have any questions on these, then just feel free to reach out to me, and I'll make sure that you have all of these lined out. Model is the only one that's beneath these right here. Cool. Let's talk about shortcut number 6. Shortcut number 6, I call the up shortcut. And what this is a couple things. Number one is it's a way to always be generating convos. And once you have your anti-selling system in place, what you're going to want to make sure is that you have a way to get people who weren't ready the second they signed up to know about what you do and maybe get help with your content, for them to be raising their hands and say, hey, yeah, I would actually like some help. I would like to talk about this. And so what we need to do is just build in a couple things into our follow-up sequence, okay? And so we're going to get conversations from it, because what we're also doing is setting up our email newsletter. That's a heart. So that we can build our email list. Whoops. And so we can have a pipeline of prospects who are dying to work with us and kind of queued up for us. And as we send our emails on very specific days with very specific things we do and don't do inside of them, and our frameworks to make sure that it's getting people to raise their hands with very juicy pieces of information and open loops, is you're going to be building your email list. And that for you right there is really the most security that you can have in an online business. Facebook groups are great, and being able to run ads and that sort of stuff, but we need a place to capture them and to build the relationship. And that's what this shortcut is all about. Let's talk about shortcut number 7, the last one. I call this the mini shortcut, so to say. And there are a couple pieces to this. One is all about content. And in order to make high quality content, we need a content framework. And what this allows for us to do is to not just show up and be making podcasts or YouTube videos just to say we do it, or because that's what we're most confident or comfortable in, because we're avoiding sales. Is really most of the people that come to me for help is they have YouTube channels and podcasts and all of those things. But what they don't have is people coming from their videos and saying, hey, I'm ready to work with you. Or calls getting booked, or courses being purchased, and things like that. And so that's what this part is all about. It's about continuing to make content, but making it in such an authoritative way, and doing it the easy way versus the hard way. And doing it the easy way versus the hard way comes down to a concept that we over in Personal Freedom Mentoring call sawdust. And when I learned this from a mentor, it just clicked and made sense, and I've been incorporating it and also teaching it ever since. And sawdust comes from you working with your clients and only sharing and teaching the juiciest things from there. And this right here really replaces a kind of a full-time job that most people have as content creators in their business. And what I want for you to think about as you're going through these shortcuts is, which of these am I not doing yet? Am I making content, which you notice is the last of the shortcuts on here? And is it bringing people to my appointment system? Do I have an appointment system? Do I have a follow-up system that's booking calls and creating conversations? Do I even get the concept of how to be creating conversations, why to do it? And do I have a follow-up script that's easy, smooth, and non-creepy, that gets people just seamlessly over and into my world? These are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves over a short and long period of time, so that we can be making the right decisions. Because the fact of the matter is that a few of you watching this right now are going to completely alter the direction for where you're at. And the way I look at it is that there are kind of like 3 or 4 places that you watching this right now are going to end up in. Some of them better, some of them worse. Let's go ahead and talk about that now. I'm a big avid reader, if you've been following me for a long time, of a book called Reality Transurfing. And so I have borrowed the idea of lifelines and have repurposed it for this sake. So if I have at all shared with you anything in regards to transurfing and it sounds similar to this, completely different thing. But I feel like it just super makes sense. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So there are 3 lifelines that you're going to be depending your actions ending up in. I'm trying to move this a little bit this way. Yeah. So let's just call this now. You're watching this video and you're trying to decide what to do. And there are a couple places that you might end up depending on your efforts. The fact of the matter is that some people are going to not do anything after watching this. And so when we kind of zoom out and we look at, 12 to 36 months out, you're going to be able to look at people in this group and your peers who are also studying and growing their online businesses, and you are going to look at them and say and know, what did they do during this crash and this pandemic and this big bounce, and how did they act? And so there's going to be a few people who don't do anything, and they try continuing to do the same thing they've been doing for a year and a half, 2 years, which isn't working. And so those people, I think, are going to kind of seem okay, and then over time they're going to crash and burn. And they might seem all right. They may have seemed all right over the last couple months, but if they haven't been doing the right things, it's going to become evident, and it's going to become evident extremely fast. So that is kind of like lifeline number one. Those are the people who we'll call this crash, and we'll call this burn. I didn't have names for them before this, so let's see how creative we can get while going through this here together. So those people are going to crash and burn. The second set of people, they're going to be consuming things like this, watching this, maybe buying an online course, or really doubling down on their business and maybe the curriculum that they're studying. And they're going to do some things different, okay? And so those people are going to make some changes, and they're going to adapt. But the fact of the matter is the people around them, the poor information, the constant fear going on in the world is going to keep bringing them back to reality, or to the now, to the current line that they were at, the line they were comfortable at. And so they might do some things, but they're really just going to be trading here, and really, over time, they aren't going to end up on this other side. Because if you are not growing, then you're slowing. And so my prediction is it's going to take a little bit longer, but these folks are just going to kind of fade out. All right, we'll call this, hope you can see this. We'll call this the faders. That's line number 2. Line number 3 is there are going to be some people who know by watching this, or from their mentor, from the course, wherever they're going through, maybe the coaching program, those are the people that are most successful. Those are the people in coaching programs always outdo the people who are doing courses and those sort of self-study things, because of accountability and things like that. And there's typically more of a financial commitment, so it makes them play out more. And those people, they're going to see what's here, but they might be a little hesitant to get started. But they start little by little getting that train going, and they continue doing the right things in the right order. They keep the mind right. They get away from the news and away from the people who aren't succeeding. And it seems like they aren't doing much until they kind of just divert and start going away from the pack. All right? These are the people who do most things right. They stay away from the fear, and they stay away from things like that. Now let's talk about the last set. The last set of people are the ones who watch this sort of video and immediately go and implement it into their business and into their life. They don't hesitate, and they, from moment one, or from right now, start or continue doing the right things in the right order at the right time. They're going to turn off the news. They're going to find a mentor or a coach that has a roadmap and a vision for the future that's better than where they're at right now. And they're going to do everything that person tells them on that roadmap, and they're not going to question it. And they're going to do it with the 2 things that I think attract money from universe, which is speed of implementation, just believing that it's going to work and going and getting it done, and with some organization and building systems as they go, which really the 7 shortcuts are all about. And it's my take that you're going to look at those people, and from moment one, they're going to have that outward trajectory. And these people are doing the right things in the right order at the right time. These guys right here are doing most things, maybe not all. And so my big question for you as you're watching this is, which one of these lifelines do you want to end up on? The fact of the matter is, by finding the right mentor, having the roadmap, and giving yourself the right amount of time, big things are possible for you and your online business and for the clients that you stand to help. So if you are an online entrepreneur, like a coach or a course creator, and you're dying to have a sort of business and lifestyle that's capable of bringing in, of course, your first $10,000, but a minimum of 6 figures over the next 12 months, then what I want for you to do is just leave the number 6 below wherever you're watching this video, and I'll know what to do. I'll reach out to you, and we'll have just a quick conversation to see if I can even help you and if you're a fit for what we do over in Personal Freedom Mentoring. And if so, then we'll move to another call in the next day or two after that, and we'll create a roadmap together and a plan of action. And if we're both extremely confident and in love with it, and I know that I'm with 100% confidence that I'm the person to help you get there, then we'll talk about what I have to offer, how it works, and if you're fit for the group. So again, if you're an online coach or a course creator and you don't have a plan or a vision and you don't know what the right things are to be doing in the right order, then let's have a quick chat and let's get you on that on the right lifeline. Let's get you on the right lifeline so that you no longer have to struggle, no longer have to wonder and worry about what's working, about what's not, and so that you can have the right pieces in place in your online business because you deserve it and because your clients do as well. So leave a comment with the number 6 wherever you're watching this video, or send me a private DM with that number. I'll know what to do and we'll take it from there. That's it for me. Big thanks for watching this, and I can't wait to, over the next 12 to 36 months, see each and every one of you grow and to be part of that journey, or to, be of any help that I can. That's it for me. I have a client call coming up with Personal Freedom Mentoring students. We're talking about the initial call. It's about the appointment system and between the email list. How do you get people to show up? What do you say? And how do you not spend all day doing it? And how do you really go from 20 to 30% closing rate, which is really high in the industry, to 80 to 90%. So I got to get going and prepared over there. Big thanks for watching. If you have any comments or thoughts for what you want to hear, be sure to put a thought below, and I'll make sure to include that as we plan and prepare these out. Awesome. Enjoy the week, guys. Cheers.